The last meeting I had, I was like, Yanti, I need you to come with me because everything's good, but it's not where I want it to be.
It's not the same colour tones.
Yeah.
We want it soft and it's still bright.
Soft everything. And where does this purple come from? I never asked for purple.
I love it. Sometimes he just throws in like an extra colour of flower and you're like, no. I still don't know how people are planning weddings because I don't think there has been a single wedding for me this year where something hasn't gone wrong and I've had to fix it. You know?
I had to tell them to take it all down and start again. And I was like, that is time. It's also, do not start setting up until I am there on site.
Oh, the amount of times we say that. Do not touch anything until I'm there.
No, it wasn't my problem. It's your problem. You now need to take it down and you're wasting your time. Yanti and I then had no transport to get home.
And then we were back in the truck. You came to my wedding.
Yes, we came to your wedding at Fury Temple Hill. And the only truck that was going that way was the Bali event hire truck.
Because they were coming to me.
And so Yanti and I sitting in the back with all the furniture and we drove from Uluwatu to Jimbaran in the back of the truck.
I've got a photo of that. It's my favourite, of you two just in the back of the truck. Hi and welcome back to Bali Weddings Unveiled. I am Tristan.
I am Britta.
And we're joined today again with Yanti. Yay! Today we are going to be doing a monthly recap. We're going to do this every month, basically every fourth episode, just to give you a bit of a recap of what we've been doing for the last month because on social media, you're going to see all of our beautiful weddings, but you don't really know what happened, what went into the lead up, the behind the scenes and everything else that we do have going on our day-to-day life. So to kick today's episode off, I just want to make a quick mention to our sponsors, Bali Sewa Sewa for the beautiful pillows that are featured in every episode just to match our colour schemes, and Marry Me in Bali for our beautiful centrepiece for the flowers. Amazing. So to kick off today, girls, what are we? What's the date today? Just for everyone playing along at home, it is November the...
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's November already.
The year has flown. November 8th.
Yeah.
What's been going on? Girls, give me the tea. First of all, I just want to fill in everyone playing along at home, listening at home, watching at home. What has been the funniest, most annoying thing that's happened to us in the last month? And I'll start it off with going, meow, 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 meow. That viral TikTok, Instagram trend stuck in my head, and I don't know how this started, but I was at my office desk the other day and I look up and Emma starts meowing, then you started meowing. I think the office has gone crazy. It has been such a year. We're almost at the end of it. So
it's like our other song, I'm losing it.
You know what? As I got out of the car from my wedding a couple of days ago, I was playing DJ, as I like to do on the way home from a wedding. And as I got out of the car, I said, guys, enjoy the rest of your home because I was getting dropped off first. And I hope that after I leave, you don't lose it too much. And I clicked play on that song as I got out of the car. The craziness. So something really exciting for me, and I don't know if you girls are as excited about this, but Bali Brides is turning 10 next week.
Yay!
Now, I like to celebrate every occasion. We haven't really over the years. We actually tried to throw a birthday party post-COVID for our 8th birthday, but then the G20 summit was on the same week and we had to cancel because the roads were shut and things. So we're throwing a massive party next week and I'm so excited because I've been planning this for a year, but I haven't been planning it, if that makes sense.
You've been planning it since 2022.
Yeah, so we booked the date in with the venue. We're going to go throw a party at our favourite venue, Opia, which is known as Fury Temple Hill. It's my favourite venue. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, it's my favourite because the venue's beautiful. There's multiple areas and the staff, it's my second home. I walk in and I get a cuddle. They're just so wonderful. So I've been planning this party for 2 years, but I haven't really done a lot of planning because I booked it and then we've been so busy that the last couple of days I've really been throwing myself into the planning of it and I can't wait to show you what's going to look like.
Finally starting to get excited about it.
Well, I can because I wrapped up my last wedding a few days ago. So that's super exciting. What's been exciting for you this month, Britta?
Well, I wrapped up my last wedding for the year in October.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yay. I was so excited. But then I got hit with 2 more weddings. So I just did one on Tuesday and then I got one following Saturday. after the party. So
Yeah. So almost done for the
Almost
year.
done.
What about you, Yanti?
I got 2 weddings left for this year, and then I have exciting, wedding coming up, which is next week.
Is that the Monday
next
one?
week? Yes, correct.
Yes. Is there a lot happening at that one? I'm so excited.
All the planning's done, so I'm going to meet the couple on Sunday for
on a weekend.
run through the final details. That's exciting. So
You're so much
meet them
nicer than me.
again.
I try to plan all my weddings during the week because I've got a baby. Well, not a baby, but like weekends are our time. I know.
I think one of my past clients tried to have a pre-wedding meeting with me on a weekend. I was like, so sorry, we got weddings all weekend. And then I was like looking at the calendar, we're completely free, but I'm like, I'm finally starting to get my weekends back. Like,
I want to say in the last 6 months, I can count one handy amount of weekends I've actually had off. So you get a weekend off. I'm not thinking that. You're
Yeah.
very nice.
it's okay. It's some downtimes already. I only have one for this month.
Yeah. I think your biggest month was July, wasn't it?
July, yeah.
Yeah, July was huge for
it's
you.
very rare we get a weekend off. So
Yeah. Or even like I said, so I've just wrapped up my last wedding a couple of days ago. And, my schedule's a little bit different because I'm obviously doing all my weddings, which there aren't as many as you girls. But then for our newer team, I supervise all of their weddings as well. And then for my PA, Alyssa, she also plans a handful of weddings because she's already doing all the behind the scenes. So I coordinate her wedding. So like I had basically 2 days in a row. So like I wrapped up my physical blast planned wedding.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days ago, was it yesterday or the day before? Day before, I then wrapped up her final wedding, which means I'm officially done for the year. And like, I can't tell you, I was walking around the venue and it must have been like I was drunk or something because I was like, whoa, last wedding, almost done. And I'm like, smell that? It's my nights. They're coming back. I can't wait to just sit on the couch at night and not have my laptop because I got my work done during the day because I wasn't at a wedding and watch TV.
yeah. Something so simple.
And having a hot dinner. Like, it was actually funny because my last wedding the other night, Bali Beach Glamping, beautiful venue, but the staff are really accommodating. I ordered hot food from the restaurant because the wedding was really simple. Like we didn't have a lot of formalities. We literally had a DJ speeches. That was it. So instead of us running backwards and forwards and doing fire dances and the pyros going off and, get us ready, it was like, well, they're eating dinner. We can eat dinner. And I had hot dinner at my wedding. And I was like, I don't know the last time I actually got to eat a decent hot meal at a wedding.
The amount of times I've had to eat a cold supplier meal and it's just like a bit of mee goreng or nasi goreng and some chicken. I'm like, I usually give my chicken to another one of the suppliers. I'm like, you can have that.
See, I feel like I've got a rock stomach because I can eat that. And it's funny because I ordered food the other night and realistically we don't really get a chance to order food often because
that's true.
we're at villas and that you can't take food in. If we're at a hotel, it's easier. So I ordered food deliberately because Alyssa was there to supervise to watch what was happening with the wedding.
Yeah.
And I knew her stomach wouldn't handle our supplier meal. So I was like, I'll eat some of this and that, but that's, your tummy's not going to handle this. She goes, I want to try it to see what you guys eat. I was like, Alyssa, this will probably upset your stomach. Like, you got a weak Western stomach. Mine's rock hard. I've been here 10 years.
And we had dinner like before 8, right?
I know.
Normally like by 9 o'clock.
I can't count the amount of times this year that I've eaten like a cold rice at 10 o'clock at night in a corner.
No rice, no power, Tristan.
No power.
So Indonesian.
It's been weird this year as well because last year for the majority of it, I was very heavily vegetarian and vegan.
Yeah.
So last year when I was eating supplier meals, I wasn't worried about getting sick because I'm just eating vegetables, This year I've been eating chicken and meat again. So I'm like, am I going to get sick after this cold chicken? I don't know what it is about Indonesian food, guys, but we don't get sick from eating cold chicken that's been sitting out all day. If we were in Australia and you ate cold chicken, you wouldn't do it. Like you just would not eat the chicken.
We ate cold chicken, cold rice, like all
Everything.
the time.
Yeah.
Everything.
I still remember my first, I'll call it street meal, and that was when you brought me an ayam batutu.
Ayam betutu.
It was my favourite. I was eating it for ages, and one day we were driving down the street, and he goes, "Oh, let's try getting ayam batutu from." And I think I dry reached in my mouth. I was like, "Oh, I can't believe that's what I'm eating." It was like literally a window
with chicken stacked up in it and vegetables and things, and they're just like hands in putting things into a paper container. I was like, I'm so glad I've never seen that before because I would never have eaten it. But still, it's one of my favourite meals to date. So yeah, I'm so excited to get my nights back, have a hot dinner, spend time with my son. I mean, the other day I was getting him ready for school and he said, Mummy, I see you tonight. I was like, I'm so sorry, babe. Like my last wedding though. And he's like, no more. I was like, no more. He's like, you're going to be home at night? And I was like, yes. And the mum guilt hit me so hard. But that it is what it is. We have a very busy season. Now I get 4 or 5 months of quiet time, which is great. So that's been super exciting. So I do want to talk about some of our weddings that we've done in the last 5 weeks. Yanti, you had a big one at Stone Villa, which is quickly becoming one of my favourite venues, actually. Tell us about Stone Villa for people who don't know what it is.
Stone Villa is beautiful. 8-4. I think they have.
Is it 8 bedrooms?
14. 14.
Wow.
Yeah, 14 if I'm not mistaken.
14 rooms, which makes it one of the biggest villas in Bali.
Yep. And you can add extra bedroom on each rooms, which is, it's can accommodate how many people?
28 plus 6. I think 30 something. It's massive.
Wow.
And located in Uluwatu on the cliffs.
Yeah, right next to Tirta Uluwatu, basically.
Yeah. Beautiful venue.
Beautiful and breathtaking view, like ocean's view, and all I can say is just beautiful. And the staff, oh my God, it's super helpful. Yeah. The venue, they have, what you call it, the party rooms?
They've got like we call it a rave cave.
A rave cave,
So they've got a dedicated built nightclub downstairs with a bar, a DJ booth, literally to go after parties, so that if your wedding wraps up at 11, there's somewhere to go afterwards.
Partying until 2 a.m. And we have to stay there until
I was going to say, we have to stay. I love it, but I hate it. So
I know.
if you get married at Stone Villa, please be aware that we actually have to stay until all the guests are here. So if your after party's finishing at 2, we don't get them out till 2:30. We're not home till like 3:30, 4 in the morning. So we do charge overtime just in case you're looking at a villa. There's extra fees that apply, but it's a great option because they can party late. Yeah. One of my things that I really love about this villa, which, there's a couple of villas that I'm like, ugh, especially my wedding the other day, I was like, the grass is dead. Because when you do multiple events at a wedding, the grass dies because we're putting a dance floor into it. We're stomping feet over it all day, every day. The grass at Stone Villa is so nice. And that's such a weird thing to say. But
they spray the grass, what you call it?
Yeah, so the owner, when I met him for the first time, first of all, Yanti, he raved about you. Like, you're the best thing ever, according to him, which I just loved hearing. But he told me that they spray paint the grass. Yeah. And not just spray paint it, they use like food colouring with a special smell so it smells nice.
Wow.
And also so that, if it rains, it doesn't stain the bride's dress. Because that was the first thing I asked. If you paint it, what happens when it gets wet from condensation? Like, won't that damage dresses?
So yeah, they do take really good care of it. The only thing that annoys me about it though is they do rope it off. So throughout the day, they like physically put up barriers so you can't walk on it. Frustrating because our suppliers have to walk all the way around, but it protects the grass and it's beautiful. So that wedding you had, the last wedding you had at Stone Villa, Yanti, I popped in for a bit. Was that one I'm thinking of?
Yes.
The white.
Of October.
We had a wedding on the same day.
I could hear you on the walkies because I was just down the road. Really? I had to change channels. I was like trying to be like, fire.
Yours was at
Wonderland. Speaking of dead grass, no. I love Wonderland. Oh my gosh.
Wonderland is... It's not so wonderful anymore. Can I say that?
It's not so Wonderland anymore. Look, it's an absolutely gorgeous venue, but again, like when you're doing so many weddings, the grass is dead there. And the construction, that's completely out of hands. Yeah. And, I feel really bad for Wonderland because it's, when it was built, it was one of my favourite venues. Like, I'd say for the last 18 months, it's been the top venue. Yeah.
It's just a blank canvas. You can do so much with it. Yeah. So,
and when they built it, stunning. But unfortunately, the land on both sides of it got sold, and there is huge construction going on. Next door is a ginormous villa. But the head of Telkomsel, I think, is building that villa. It's beautiful. That's honestly it's an eyesore, but I don't mind because
the people on that construction site are really nice.
Yeah.
We've dropped vendor meals over, so that's like our secret on wedding day. If we can get budget for it.
You don't even have to give them anything now.
They'll just do it.
The past few weddings that I've had there, they're not that loud during the ceremony. I think they see that it's going on. They're like, oh.
They're a bit more respectful on that side. Actually, my last wedding, I think it was yours. There was a guy up on the roof and he was hammering and he looked down at me and I went, and I smiled really big at him and waved, and then he waved back and then I just went, shh, and he was like, oh, okay. And he stopped for 15 minutes.
But the people on the other side.
The other side is so if anyone is getting married at Wonderland, we have told you on this, but I don't think you understand. The other side next to the point, the construction there, the owner, I can't say bad things on thing, but the owner is not as, how would you word it nicely? Forgiving, as accepting as, how would you word that nicely, Auntie? He's not as empathetic.
Yeah.
Empathetic. So literally one of the weddings we had there was hammering like it was so loud.
They have proper speaker.
They did the last wedding. So the first wedding we had major issues where there's major hammering to the point that I was like, Britta, we can't send the bride down the aisle yet. It's too loud. Let's go next door. So we went next door and I said to him, is there any chance we can be quiet? The owner was there and he was on the phone yelling at the owner Wonderland for some reason. And
That
it
was
like,
last year.
yeah, and it was like, no, I'm not shutting down. We don't want you to shut down. I said, look, I'm happy to pay just 20 minutes. Can we be quiet while she walks down the aisle? No. And then I think Wonderland have had major issues with him since, because my last event there, we chose to do the ceremony on the other side, but at about 5 to 4, blasting music from a speaker, the workers there had gotten as close as they could to the fence line and put their music on as loud as it would go.
I think they've got like a
Deliberately.
really big JBL speaker or something there, because
It
it's
was
like
so loud.
it is
Thank-
amplified sound.
Thank goodness we were doing it on the other side, but you could hear it from the lobby and guests were like, oh, is that music coming from there? And it was Indonesian music. You know, it wasn't like Ed Sheeran or anything lovely. It was like, it was loud.
It even sounds like
It's like-
Indian music. I'm like,
Yeah.
do they even like?
Well, that's it's constantly our battle now at that venue is the construction was like, Britta, you caught them the other week. What were they doing? Just hammering next to the
Oh
fence.
yeah, I've had many weddings there over the past few months, and I sent Wayan, our favorite bar staff, everything man. He was like, and he comes back over. He's like, Britta, they're not even working. They're just banging at nothing, and they're laughing while they're doing it. So they do it on purpose.
They do it deliberately. Hopefully the construction will be finished soon and we won't have to deal with it. But yeah, we're having major issues
The
with that
amount of
venue.
clients I've had to chat to, and they're like, oh, but can't we just have it over there? I'm like, you can, but you're going to be competing with their sound. They're banging, and you're also going to be having your own sound, and it's just through ceremony when you're trying to say your vows.
And it's not quiet either. They are loud.
It's loud.
You know, we've tried turning the music up over them and we like, it's still, you know, because during the ceremony, there's no music. It's like, you know, now's time for your vows. Nying, 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 nying in the background. Like,
I got so lucky from my last wedding at Wonderland back to September. There were only like 4 workers, and then I managed to, to speak to one of them. Hey, can I pay you like 100K per person, and then you can just stop working for half an hour, and then they agreed.
got lucky.
Because my bride, she insists, I want to have my ceremony at the point area. This is why I chose Wonderland.
Yeah.
I think they see the bulle, like us Westerners, and they're like, no, we're going to make it horrible for you.
Yeah. Because that day that we had that other wedding, my client was really lucky. We had extra budget. So they paid and we brought like 100 vendor meals. We brought donuts and we dropped them to the big villa side and they all shut down, tried to take us to the other side. They didn't want a bar of it. I think it just depends on who's working on the day.
that's
So yeah,
true.
Everyone loves Janty, unicorn.
you know, it's, you know, it's probably because they want more money from us, you know, like give us 500 and we'll think about it. So yeah, Stone Villa Yanti, that villa, absolutely beautiful, right next to Wonderland, which is another venue that we work at, same day weddings.
Yeah.
That wedding was stunning. Can you, like, who was the florist that day? Did you do the mood board? Who came up with all the flower ideas?
So we have some florists.
Oh, that's what you
yes,
did.
yes.
Yeah.
I stole white flowers from you. I was like, Yanti, sorry, I'm stealing some white flowers. Love you, kiss, kiss.
Yeah.
Benefits of being next door.
We use the florist wedding conceptor quite often, it's quite a lot. So yeah, basically we have the same florist on that day. And your color team was
Soft pink, soft yellow, soft green, soft blue, no purple.
You know why we're laughing about this? Like, tell the story about the flowers.
blue.
So this is why you need a wedding planner, because Indonesians, I don't know if this is right in saying, Yanti, but are very good at agreeing with you even when they don't understand fully.
Yeah.
Like, yes, no problems, but don't fully understand. So Britta's wedding, as she's just said, the colours were soft.
Soft everything. The bridesmaids had their own coloured dress. So the orange bridesmaid had like a soft orange bouquet. Same with yellow, blue, green, etc. So I don't even know how. I think maybe
three or four
five,
meetings.
Yeah, 4 meetings with Harry from Florist Wedding Concept. I love him. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
His work is phenomenal. I knew that he was the man for the job.
Yeah.
But it's just at the
Communication.
last meeting I had, I was like, Yanti, I need you to come with me because he's just everything's good, but it's not where I want it to be.
It's not the same colour tones.
Yeah,
We
I'm
want
like,
it soft
I
and
need
it's still bright.
soft everything. And where does this purple come from? I never asked for purple. Like,
I love that sometimes he just throws in like an extra colour of flower and you're like, no.
it was even the first revision that came back and he had a bright pink, like the pink, one of those flowers.
bright, shocking pink like this.
soft
Okay.
fuchsia pink. And I was like, soft pink.
Like baby pink,
Even we make a joke at the office, soft pink or Shopping.
Stopping.
Shopping.
Oh gosh.
So it turned out beautifully.
He nailed it. Those
Yeah.
flowers were stunning.
It was
But it took,
stunning.
4 meetings and
Yeah.
then getting Yanti in to translate and go through it again. And like,
I cannot imagine if you were planning your own wedding, didn't have a wedding planner, what
Yeah.
those flowers would look like if you didn't have
That's true.
going backwards and forwards, florist multiple times until it was perfect.
Because those meetings are probably up to an hour long sometimes. So
That's what I mean. There's so much work that goes
Yeah.
behind the scenes on planning a wedding. It's not just the day; it's the backwards and forwards, and getting another staff member on board. And
Basically styling, choosing the flowers.
and I probably would have had 4 meetings with him in 2 or 3 months.
yeah,
So, and then it's the constant back and forth on WhatsApp because everyone uses WhatsApp here.
WhatsApp is the bane of my existence. I reckon I've got 40, 50 unread messages at the moment on that. I don't know at what stage it became texting is okay for business and not email, or like it does
But
my
it's
head
even
in.
I think it's some of my new clients as well. They're messaging me on WhatsApp and then I revert back to them over email and then they still WhatsApp me. I'm like,
There's no
can't
way
you
for us to
see that
track
I'm
it.
moving you to email?
Look, WhatsApp is great, serves a purpose for fast things, but there's no physical way to like trace it is the
Yeah,
problem.
sure.
Like if if you message me on WhatsApp and say, here's an invoice, by the time I'm in the office later that day, I've got another 50 messages and your invoice message is all the way down the bottom. If it goes to my email, I check that email when I'm in front of my computer and I'm working. Your WhatsApp could come through right now while we're podcasting.
Yeah.
like I find it really frustrating. But maybe that's just because I'm getting old. I don't know.
It's just really hard to track because a lot of suppliers they send you invoices on WhatsApp and you're constantly scrolling to try to find them.
That's
And
true.
sometimes you miss them because it's like, well, you never sent that to me. It's like, yes, I did back here. I'm like, I was at a wedding that day.
You know what? Actually, this morning I had a call with a client before we came here and I was going through, because every month we assign our clients homework. All right, great. Have you done your homework? And this month she had, because last month she hadn't. I did, naughty girl, do your homework this month. So she'd done her homework. So I was like, right, so this is what you're working on. Where's my band invoice? And I'm searching my emails. I'm like, I never got it. Wait, let me just follow that up. Go to WhatsApp. Sure enough, they'd WhatsApped it to me ages ago at 10 p.m. at night.
Oh.
And I just hadn't seen it. I was like, oh, so I just replied. I was like, yep, no problems. We'll get that paid ASAP. But yeah, it's really hard to track. So anyway,
I just don't love WhatsApp.
I just don't think, like, can you imagine
It's hard to
just
track.
WhatsApping, let's say, your insurance company? Like, hey, can you just don't do it. So I don't know why it's okay in our industry. But
And I
that's
think
Bali.
people have got to realize we are out at weddings for 16 hours a day. So for us to be trying to coordinate suppliers that are constantly calling us and messaging us, your message is going to the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see that.
And that's 100%
And
as well.
us
Yeah.
trying to scroll the next week, trying to find
Yeah.
if people have messaged us. I could be scrolling for 5 minutes until I found like an unred message.
I got added to a group chat for my wedding a couple of days ago. And as soon as the notification came in, I was like, oh, no, they haven't. They haven't done that to me. But again, like as you said, the suppliers all day are messaging us. Like our messages, I reckon, start around 7 a.m. on a wedding day.
Earlier.
Hey, what time are you coming? I'm here. And like hundreds of messages on a wedding day. And then, again, I've just seen a message this morning from a client that messaged me a few weeks ago and I've only just seen it. Whoops. So if you want to get hold of me, long story short, please email me.
Yeah, I will
definitely
see
the
it on
best.
email.
I will see it on email or book in a call. Like that's my favorite way to chat to people.
Absolutely. We get so much done on calls.
Exactly.
Remember when we just did everything on email? Like we've come so far. I'm so proud of us.
I don't know how we did that pre-COVID.
I mean, we never had calls, did we?
No.
But again, I think back then when we started the company, Google Meet and Zoom and things weren't really a thing. So
And I guess COVID was a blessing.
because we learned how to do that.
Yeah. Everyone was calling each other
Yeah.
to see their faces.
I know. Do you know what else like annoys me? And this is like, again, why you need a wedding planner. So we obviously send out a very detailed run sheet and wedding brief way in advance out to all the suppliers. This is everything that's going on wedding day. Our suppliers don't read them.
No.
Like, they do not read them. And then again, like coming down to the WhatsApp thing, my wedding a couple of days ago, the bride actually still doesn't know the full drama that we went through for this because I fixed it. But she really wanted fairy lights, right, for her wedding. So because she only had access to the venue from 12 o'clock onwards because she didn't stay there the night before, it's not long enough for us to set up fairy lights, right? Because we need like a whole day. Like the team's normally in at 9 a.m. setting up the poles and getting that done. And there was someone else staying there. So I was very lucky that I said to the venue, is there a wedding happening the day before? They said, yes. I said, can you tell me the wedding planning company name? And, thank goodness for no privacy laws. They gave me the wedding planning company's name. And I messaged the wedding planner and I was like, hey, can you, I've got a wedding the next day. What lights are you using? Thank goodness she was using fairy lights. Not the same as what my client wanted, a little bit different. But I said to her, can I pay your supplier and keep the fairy lights up overnight so we can have them the next day. She agreed to it. It was great. Client was so happy. And then we found out earlier this week, oh, actually, we're not doing fairy lights anymore because we're doing a marquee because of the rain. So I lost my fairy lighting like 3 days before the wedding.
Yeah.
And then because they're doing a marquee, that doesn't come down to like 1 o'clock in the morning. So there was no chance of us setting up those lights. So I had to go backwards and forwards with the venue. Eventually they gave me early access, but we had to sign contracts basically stating we wouldn't make noises. Booked it in a lighting company. And then I said to them, look, you've got early access, but I lied and I told them 10 a.m. because I just didn't trust them enough not to make noise.
Yeah.
And I figured by 10, like people should be awake. There wouldn't be any complaints. So anyway, at 10 o'clock they go in and I've already sent through a wedding brief. I've sent through photos of what I want. And he is still messaging going, what way do you want the lights? Do you want them that way or that way? And so I call him and I'm like, light my picture that way, but I want it to the side of the ceremony area. Like you girls know what I mean. I don't want it.
You sent him the measurement as well.
I sent him the measurements. It's going 10
But also, how many times have they worked there?
I know.
So like
I know, right?
We want it 15 meters this way, 20 meters that way. The lighting is to start just outside the ceremony area. So she's not walking down the aisle with lights above her head. Like we want those nice photos. Great. We get there. They've done the measurements completely the wrong way. They have done 20 meters that way instead of that way. And of course the lighting is going completely across the ceremony area. So pack it all down, move it all to the side. And they're like, he didn't tell us. I'm like, why do I spend so much time creating these beautiful mood boards if they don't read them?
And they're so detailed.
And they're so detailed. Like there's nothing missed in our briefs.
No.
Like it's like we're going 15 meters that way, 20 meters that way. I want it on a tent with that centered above the bridal table. Like there's so much detail. So again, like what if that client didn't have a wedding planner? Like where had this all gone? I just don't understand why they don't read the basic things.
We put so much work into those wedding briefs as well, but they need it.
Yeah.
Like they do read their part of it, but then they still have questions. And it's like, it's all, the amount of times I've gone to a supplier and be like, read the wedding brief, it's on there. Like, I don't want to be repeating myself 20 million times. It's on there.
They don't have to read everything.
Just the page that applies.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's labeled like this is the photography page. This
Makeup
is the video
and
page.
things.
This is the lighting page. And it's very detailed. Here's a picture of the lighting. This is like the floor plan, what way the lighting's going. Again, like suppliers have taken on so much work this year that maybe they're overworked as well. Like there's always a reasoning, but I just feel like this year for the suppliers, everyone's dropped the ball.
Like, have you had any major issues the last couple of months with your weddings?
Cake.
Oh, yeah. Cake.
Came as a 2-tier, not a 3-tier.
You know what happened? My wedding, literally, K-Resto, my physical last wedding. So when the cake arrives, the head planner has to sign for it because you know what it looks like, all right? No one else is allowed to accept delivery. The cake company's not allowed to leave. So Robbie messages me, cake's here. Go up, I open the box and I'd ordered a donut towel with a cake on top. Yeah. So I opened the box and it was just donuts on the towel. And I was like, where's the cake? There's no cake. I'm like, yes, there is. There's a cake. No. And I'm like, oh my God, did I not order the cake? Because of course, first thing, I'm like, I checked the wedding brief. There's the picture. Let me check the invoice. There's a cake. And he's like, oh, he gets on the phone, rings the company. And I was like, right, be back here within 2 hours with my cake. So he goes off, gets the cake, comes back with it. The cake is wrong. So I'd sent her a picture of a cake with like glittery bits all around the bottom and then a ribbon and then this ugly brooch on it. And I said, I want this cake, but without the glittery bits, without the brooch and the ribbon to be a different color. No, they exactly copied the photo. So we then had to peel it all apart. So, but this has been such a thing this year of just people not paying attention. And then again, like we're the ones fixing it. Thank goodness for us.
I rocked up to a wedding in August and they were starting to set up the lighting at Bali Mandira.
Yeah, right.
And it was a completely different style to what I had on the wedding brief. He was like, but you said this. I'm like, yeah, I said that. Photo. Like, that's what it is. A tent style. Like,
Even the sample, like the setup sample was there on the brief.
It was on the wedding brief.
I still don't know how people are planning weddings because I don't think there has been a single wedding for me this year where something hasn't gone wrong and I've had to fix it. You know?
I had to tell them to take it all down and start again. And I was like, that is time. It's also, do not start setting up until I am there on site.
Oh, the amount of times we say that. Do not touch anything until I'm there.
So it wasn't my problem. It's your problem. You now need to take it down and you're wasting your time.
I had it was a wedding earlier this year, massive setup. It was probably my biggest production, I'm going to call it. And, you know, when we're doing things like lighting, we have to center the tables and make sure everything's going to fit and the lighting's going to cover it all. So I had asked the furniture company, because of how big of a production this wedding was, I said to the furniture company, you need to be there at 8 a.m. to unload, because by the time they unload the truck and I get there, it'll be 9, and then we can start getting the furniture in place so we can then center the lighting across it. Lighting, you be there at 9. You know, we'll start centering it all. I'm not joking when I told you they showed up at 11. I was so angry. I was so stressed because we can't start anything else until we've done that. Like if we put the lighting out and the furniture doesn't fit or it's not centered, like we're screwed. So
I'm so particular about that as well. I'm like, Auntie, the table just needs to be a little bit left, or oh no, it needs to go back a bit more, or it's on an angle. Like I'm so particular about it.
And for this one, we literally didn't know, like we'd measured it out, but you know, with some venues, the ground is uneven. So even though on the picture, yes, we can fit the table there, it doesn't actually fit there because there's a tree stump or there's like some sort of reason. So we literally had to place the tables out to make sure they were going to fit, or rearrange the floor plan. And I think we did rearrange the floor plan like 4 or 5 times. And then we can put the lighting directly above the bridal table. So like things like that, when they're showing up so late, like you need to be onto them because, you know, being Bali, they're like, oh, we got stuck in traffic. And I was like, I was here.
I think that's their biggest
At 9 a.m.
excuse.
waiting for you.
They're like, oh, but we got stuck around, what's that big,
The hill.
the hill or
GWK.
And it's,
GWK.
but it's even sometimes they're stuck in just top of Cooter or somewhere. I'm like, yeah, but what time did you leave?
Yeah.
We left at 8 a.m. to be here at 10. You should have done the same.
Yeah.
Why are you so late?
And I get traffic, but like, 30 minutes to an hour late. Not they literally 8, 9, 3 hours late.
Oh, how about this was at the start of this year when wedding at the Surga, the floating stage.
You have to wait for 4 hours.
I did.
Right?
I waited 4 hours after my meeting with my client. So I'm just hanging out outside of the villa because I can't leave until they are there. And I was like, where are you guys? I've got boss mummy Tristan onto it. Like, I'm like, I don't know where these people are.
Do you know what the worst thing about that is? Like, I understand stretching the truth a little bit to cover your ass. However, when I rang them, she said to me they're stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
She didn't tell her team to tell you that, because what did they tell you when they arrived?
Got a flat tire.
No, that was another excuse. But then when the team arrived, they said they'd come straight from another event.
Oh, yes. They came from Ubud.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So the excuse was we got a flat tire, and then no, they actually were at another wedding that they didn't tell us about. But the thing that annoys me about that's like,
you were going to be at that wedding the next day, the entire day. That's a big day. But I think it was Friday night. You knew it was like 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like,
tell us if you're going to be late so we don't have
and
to
they
show up
couldn't
so
even
early.
finish the stage because they were so late, and it was going to take them a minimum of 6 hours to build.
And then you know who gets the blame?
Heather.
We do. We get the blame
I'm
because
getting messages from the couple like, where are the stage? They're on their way. They're so sorry. They're late.
Yeah.
Then it's just the constant follow-ups. Where are they? Where are they? I'm like, 4 hours later, they're still on the way. Like,
it's like, this is the thing that also
they're meant
annoys
to be
me.
there at 3 p.m.
Yeah. And
They didn't show up till
that company's not like a bad company either. It's not like we'd picked a really cheap, it's a professional company we've worked for a long time. They're one of the best. And like things like this happen. And I had a call with a client yesterday. They've never been to Bali, getting married here next year. And they said, is there anything we need to know? I said, yes, it's an island. We work on island time. So if I take 3 weeks to come back to you with a quote on something, because I don't have it yet, I will continuously follow up, weekly or every second day or whatever is appropriate.
I've got like a little note section how many times I need to follow up with Andy.
Yeah, but it's just like, people do work slower. And
I think this is one of the biggest things we have to tell our clients at the beginning is, just because you've got an amazing DJ,
it doesn't mean he's any good at running a business. He's a fantastic DJ. Is he going to bill me? Like, no. Our birthday party on Tuesday, I've ordered so many things. I don't have a bill. I don't even know what it's going to cost. But the people that are really good at the talent, they're not so good at running the business side of things.
No matter how many times you need help with the admin, you need an admin person. Yeah, but no one knows it like I do. I'm like,
And
just take the time to train them a little bit.
Needs always to remind him, this is what I'm ordered.
Yeah. I was waiting for an invoice. I got it the day before a wedding, and I sent the Kadek through the playlist the day of the wedding, because that's when I got them. He was like, it's too late. And I'm like, yeah, well, the day before the wedding was too late for my invoice. Oh, yeah, okay, Britta, sorry.
And he even forgot sparklers from today's
Did he?
event. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Who
Kade.
Did he? Okay, so they realised before I found
Kade
it.
is the...
you know why? Because I feel like those always are scared of me. And it's like, I know that sounds bad. I'm not a horrible person. It's not like I'm screaming, but because you girls, right, you can message, but then I have to step in to get these done. So, Andy came in the other day. You could just see him like hiding. I'm like, why? You haven't done anything wrong yet today?
Yes.
Sorry. Until I went around and picked up all of the cable ties off the floor. And then you know what they said? They're not mine. I'm like, I don't care if they're not yours. Like, just pick them up.
Yeah.
That's true. And then another things we don't really use, like floating stage, the melamine again.
Oh, yeah.
I have horrible experience. Not horrible.
I do. I have a horrible experience.
So I have banned melamine and acrylic floors because
Dance
they're
floors,
dangerous.
floating
Slippery,
stages,
dangerous.
Floating stage, we don't have a choice really.
Yeah.
Like it has to be that, but you know, we can't dance on that.
Yeah,
either.
I can't
that's
dance on
true.
it.
Yeah. Remember a few years ago, one of Michelle's clients, remember they broke their arm at Swigger? Actually, you would remember because you two were there.
Surga.
Slippery. What did he do? He like slipped and fell in the pool or something?
Slipped, fell, broke his
arm.
and literally the bone was sticking out.
Ugh.
So
Gross.
Michelle had to rush him to the hospital. I can't remember what hospital. Did he go to Siloam or?
No, he went to that one in
Passi
Jimbo.
Ibu.
We stopped and saw him on the way
And
home.
and Yancy and I then had no transport to get home.
And then we were back in the truck. You came to my wedding.
Yes, we came to your wedding at Fury Temple Hill, and the only truck that was going that way was the Bali event hire truck.
Because they were coming to me.
And so we were, Nancy and I, sitting in the back with all the furniture, and we drove from Uluwatu to Jimbaran in the back of the truck.
I've got a photo of that. It's my favourite of you two just in the back of the truck. Yeah, melamine dance floors, so slippery. So, and I think the problem here as well is because all of the venues are outside. Like we just did a beautiful melamine dance floor for Robin's wedding, but she was in a ballroom.
Yeah.
Right? So that's fine. But being outside, condensation from the ocean at nighttime, like it gets wet and there is just no drying in that thing. And it becomes slippery and people fall over. I remember the mum at that wedding at Wonderland that time. She must have come up to us like 7 times. Can you do something about the dance floor? I was like, I can't. Like there's nothing we can do. It's just slippery. So yeah, I think melamine dance floor is definitely a no-go.
I think she came up to you like 5 times, and I saw her out of the corner of my mum.
Mum's coming again. Quick,
Tristan, she's coming. She's coming. And we're all like trying to run away.
It's always the mums.
White wooden dance floor, it's
fine.
It's fine, but it's not good as white melamine.
I know. There needs to be like something less slippery that
Yeah.
I don't mind the white wooden dance floor.
I just don't love it.
Yeah. It just gets dirty easily.
Yeah. I mean, keeping people off the dance floor until the first dance is normally what we need to do for that one.
I have the big ones at the Stone Villa, remember? And then all the screws like sticking out. And then you have to deal with, the owner as well.
Yeah, because Vina was trying to talk to the owner and I don't know why I always have to get involved. Like, can't you just talk to the team? Yeah, and I'm literally like messaging him a photo of Ryan doing the dance floor while guests sitting. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it was during dinner.
Yeah. So I think like something really going to be like, we need to start telling our clients like things are going to happen, things are going to go wrong. And as much as we're a very Western run company, right? So like the standards that we have a Western standard.
Yeah.
That is not the standard for a lot of companies here. Like the dance floor company didn't care that they were pulling up a panel and fixing it while we were trying to seat guests. Like for me, that's humiliating. Then of course, like luckily I don't think those clients even saw or even cared, but the blame would have been on us.
Yeah. We've had holes in dance floor. Remember the sanctuary last year?
Someone's foot went through it. They were jumping. You went at that one, yeah. And that's why that dance floor the other week I was stomping on it to see if there was any weak spots because I'm like, trauma. But yeah, things always go wrong on wedding day. And I think the biggest thing for our team is we do such a big like problem solving. Like what happens if this happens on the wedding day? How do you deal it? And everyone's very trained to not go to the clients with the problems. Like if I went to a client on their wedding day with all the problems I've had, like I think I'd have like a full panic attack.
But I think it's kind of going back to how do people plan their own weddings here? Like if you're off-site getting your hair and makeup done, who's there overlooking the suppliers in the morning?
Yeah.
How are you making sure all the tables in the right place and lighting and dance floor? It's all got to be centered. And if you're not there, who is?
My wedding at BBG the other day, they'd already set up the ceremony chairs when we got there and the gap between the chairs was like this much. I'm like, how is a person supposed to sit there and someone else walk? Like just... give them a bit of space. You don't need to squish
It's even the chairs for the ceremony.
Yeah, was the chairs for the ceremony. They would like literally, I showed all this. I was like, so this is one of the things we have to look at. Like, sit down.
Yeah.
Can someone walk in front of me to get to their chair? She's like, no. I was like, exactly. So now we move all the chairs.
For the tables as well. Like making sure if you're on round tables or long tables, making sure those tables aren't so close to each other. You've got to be able to walk through.
My favourite thing is that happened this year. Well, not my favourite thing, but like we're human. We make mistakes, right? So the suppliers, they mess up a lot more than we do, but occasionally we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite moments of this year is we were setting up your wedding reception and you'd ordered obviously the tables and the chairs and you'd ordered peacock chairs, which are those ginormous feature chairs. And I was like, Britta, you do realise that we can only fit 2 of those chairs behind.
Oh, that was last
the one
year.
table. Was it last year? And so
last
literally
year.
you'd ordered the tables in, but you'd factored for 4 chairs a table, and then we were missing a table for the bridal table because the chairs were so big. But luckily we noticed that early.
We got an extra table in.
We were at Bali event home. We literally sent our boys out with our truck
To go pick up the table. I was like, I don't know where the rest of the bridal table is going to sit because we don't have enough
That
space.
day was just well,
Was that the wedding we wanted to cry after?
we were on the floor in the kitchen drinking wine and I'm patting the cat like.
Which venue was?
Latitude.
Right.
we all that wedding's famous now. We sipped the Coca-Cola. Yeah, that was probably one of my favourite moments this year.
We walked into the prep room, I think it was just after midday, and soda water. That's not soda water.
It was after the ceremony. So
No, this was before the ceremony.
did you get on before the ceremony?
Yeah.
So Drunken Love, right, yeah, Auntie, we use them for, I want to say like nearly, if we could use them for every wedding we would, but we can't on hotels. But they're our favourite bar company because 1, the service is amazing. 2, they can carry more than 3 drinks on a tray. They're so flexible. Like with most bar companies, if your guests show up an hour early to the wedding, it's tough. There's no bar. You're just going to have to wait till the bar team start. With them, they're like, bang, drinks out, like so flexible. But my favourite thing about it is on the wedding day, it's hot. We're so hot. So his team constantly brings us soda waters and drinks throughout the day to keep us hydrated. And like you'll just be walking past and a soda water with lime will be handed to you. And yeah, that day I walked into the prep room just after the ceremony, had a big breath. I was like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Oh, great, there's a soda water on the table. Took the biggest gulp of it and almost choked because it wasn't soda water, it was gin. And then it's funny, I didn't think anything of it. I kind of left the room, was doing my own thing, and then later Wyan walked up to me and I was like, okay, it's soda water. Had a big sip. It's gin. And I was like, Wyan, that's the second time you spiked me. And he goes, oh, you look stressed. I thought you needed it. So
They're
good.
so onto it.
So onto it.
They are so
Because all
onto it.
throughout the day, they give us soda waters with extra lime. Make sure
5
there's
pieces of
ice.
lime in
Yeah.
my soda water, please.
Exactly. And they're just the best.
I do love them. I think they're like just there's nothing that you could ever ask them that wouldn't be possible. Like even if I'm picking up furniture and trying to move it around, they'll be like, don't do that, Tristan, let me do that for
Well,
you.
that's what I mean. Like Wyan went over to the other side of Wonderland to see what the builders were doing.
Yeah.
And he was the one that came back and reported. He was just the bar team that day.
Do you know what I also love as well? Like, so for some of the villas we work with, obviously, we have to be there till the very end of the night. And if lighting takes 3 hours to come down and the wedding finishes at midnight, that means our team have to be there till 3. Now, because Wyan actually works for another registered planning company, we've got a grey area where we can send his team in because they're part of a wedding planning company and they do the pat down. And I love when they come in at night and we're in a venue that they know there isn't a bar and they bring us in soda waters or drinks. And at 10 o'clock, they're showing up and they're like, here you go, here's a drink.
A little esky just
So
for us
cute.
with gin.
So sweet.
It is so sweet. They really do look after us.
Yeah.
I think we had our last wedding, it was mine, Shalima was my last wedding with them. I was so sad to see them go. Like, the suppliers become like your friends, you know? So when you're saying goodbye to them at the last wedding, it's like, see you next year. Thanks for a great season.
And his team are just so good. We really start to get to know a lot of them as well.
We went to
Even
Leo's
some of their
wedding.
little younger staff. It's just so nice seeing them as well. Like,
Those 2 young boys that are working there at the moment.
they're so cheeky.
They're so cheeky. They're trying to dance for my wedding guest the other day. I was like, I know that you're new, but get back behind the bar. What has been like the most stressful thing that's happened to you in the last month, Yanti, for a wedding? Mine was 3 hours late at Wonderland. That was incredibly stressful.
Rainy. Like
Oh, it's been
we have
Yeah.
rains on the wedding day. That's especially the venue, they don't have like an undercover area.
Yeah.
And the weather here is very unpredictable.
Did you use the rain stopper for most of the weddings?
Mostly yes.
Yeah.
But some client, what is rain stopper?
They don't believe in
Yeah,
it.
They don't believe it. They just need to have faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain what a rain stopper is? Because I feel like you're the better person to explain. Like what basically
I
is
just
a
call
rain
him the
stopper?
magic man.
Yeah.
Weathermans. Basically, is we call it pemangku.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, pemangku is like holy persons. They came to the venue to do offering, talk to the nature, and then they actually can move the clouds away.
And If
And
you
it's work.
are not spiritual, this sounds stupid, and
Yeah.
Yanti will probably be the first to tell you that when we started Bali Brides back in
2014, and our first year at weddings was fine, but the second year,
we had a wedding coming up at Bali Nixoma, and I'd never worked there before. Like, it was a new venue for us. Same day, one of my side businesses, my Bali Celebrant, they were working in Uluwatu and also near Canggu. And Nixoma the whole week was like, it's raining a lot, you need the rain stopper. And I didn't believe in it. I was like, I'm not paying $300 for a rain stopper. What a load of crap. Yeah. And Yanti was like, I think you should book the rain stopper. And I didn't believe it. I was like, no way, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What a waste of money. And the day before the wedding, Nixoma messaged me and they said, Tristan, we're booking the rain stopper. I said, I'm not paying for it. And they're like, that's fine. It's our first wedding together. We want to have a good future, so we will pay for it. I was like, great, fine, I don't care. It rained at my other two weddings that day and not mine. Then the following, remember Christy and Bruce's wedding? That was the next one. It poured with rain the entire week. And then I explained the rain stop to them. I said, look, it's whether you believe it or not. I've used it once. It worked okay. It rained the entire week of their wedding. Their wedding day was beautiful. The next day it rained again. And now, like, the amount of magic I have seen these men work, like, even at BBG the other day, just before the ceremony, the clouds were coming towards us and I was watching them. I messaged him and then they just disappeared. At K Resto, my last wedding of the year, it torrential rained. Remember that? We all ran outside. We picked up the chairs. We grabbed everything off the beach. We took it inside. I messaged him. I was like, I know I didn't book you today, but please help me. And he's like, right, I'm going to the temple.
Give me half an hour.
Give me half an hour. I'll send the rain clouds to Nusa Dua. And it was bucketing down. Like, the venue was going to flood. Like, I was like, I don't know what to do. We don't have... we're starting to talk about backup options and we'll put it inside and we'll do this and we'll do that. And then like 40 minutes later, beautiful day for the rest of the day. The clouds were all by the airport.
Even yours, I think Conrad, you have to book rain stopper last minute. It was like...
He finally got there at it was 2:30 or something. And their ceremony was at 3. He was like, all right, give me like an hour because it was raining. Like, it was wet season rain in July.
Yeah.
1st July.
1st of July. It's always the 1st of July. We cannot have weddings on the 1st of July because it always rains on the 1st of July. We got him in. I think I called him at maybe 10 or 11 a.m. and it was just bucketing down rain all day. He finally got there at 2:30. Ceremony was at 3. We couldn't start the ceremony any later, so, okay, like, let's get her down the aisle. It was still raining. It was quite windy. It wasn't too bad, so we sent her, and it was in a chapel, thank God. So she just had to walk in the rain just a little bit to get to the chapel. Once she was in the chapel, probably within 10 minutes, the skies became so blue. And it was like that for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Magic.
Do you know what, like, probably is the most magic ever? So we don't recommend weddings like, November, December, January, February, wet season. Like, the chances of rain are so high. I had a couple getting married on the 4th of January this year, and I literally was going to fly from there to New Zealand out for my Christmas break. And we'd already told them, not recommended, probably going to need a marquee, etc. So the week of the wedding, we actually booked the marquee because it was very wet. And we only put the marquee over the reception area, right? So the ceremony sanctuary was going to still be up on the lawn. It rained. By the time I got to the venue was flooded and it was torrential raining. And the rain stopper was there when I got there. We had booked the marquee and the rain stopper. But
like, you would have looked up that day and it was terrible. We took our shoes off to walk around the venue because the water was above my ankles.
Yeah.
The whole marquee was flooded, like the bar was underwater. It was so bad. And I said to him, what is going on? He said, there's clouds everywhere. There's no way for me to move them to. What time's the ceremony? I said, look, the ceremony's at 4:30. I need it clear by 3 so that we need to set up. Like, I need it dry. I'm really stressed. And he's like, don't worry, just by 3 o'clock, promise, it'll be gone.
Groom's coming out, groom's getting stressed. I said, the rain stopper promised me it'll be done by 3. It must have been like 3:01. Like, I'm not even joking. It was almost to the minute. Completely stopped. Sun came out. It was dry for the ceremony.
Right, I remember that, yes.
Remember? Because we've got the photos of our staff walking around with rubbish bags on our head. Like, I was drenched like a little rat. Because, even though it's raining, we've still got to do things. And literally we had to take our shoes off because the marquee was flooded and you couldn't wear your shoes in there because everything was floating. We're all like sitting on the tables and huddled at 3:01. Beautiful. It was nice for the rest of the day.
I know.
It's like, I don't understand the magic, but it's just absolutely
How about your Latitude wedding last year? It was raining.
Poured with rain. So again, another day where it poured with rain.
I think it's the whole island, right?
It was the entire island.
Couldn't move the clouds anywhere. It was all full.
The sky
Same
was full.
as my clients. Yours was at Latitudes. Mine was at Bali Beach Glamping.
Did you have a rain stopper?
We booked rain stopper, but it's the whole island.
So you know what happened for mine? So we had it was quite a thing. We had obviously had dinner. We had we had fireworks. We had all these things. So it stopped for an hour. We got the ceremony done within that hour. whoosh, whoosh out, started raining again. We put them all inside for dinner. We were stressed because we weren't going to be able to do the fireworks, and I messaged Rain. So I said, look, I just need like 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do their first dance and the fireworks so that we can do it, because if it's raining, you can't do fireworks.
Yeah.
It stopped for 10 minutes. We got our first dance done, fireworks. Rained for the rest of the day. We put them inside and it was fine. But yeah, he said, there's no room in the sky for me to move them anywhere else. The entire island's covered in clouds. But he still managed to stop it for an hour for the ceremony.
And ceremony.
And for my first dance and to do the fireworks. And then it rained the rest of the night and was like, we had a backup plan, but still, I don't understand how the magic works. So yeah, last month, stressful, rain.
Yep.
Suppliers being late constantly, suppliers not bringing us invoices. But we've had a lot of beautiful weddings. I think we did 15 in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You've had quite a few. I think this was your back-to-back month, wasn't it? You had 2 weddings back-to-back and then another one a few days later.
It's been that's been consistently August, September, October, my back-to-backs.
Yeah.
So
I'm just like I get to breathe again now for a few months.
I've like got one more left, which isn't really my wedding, but I
love
to take
that couple.
over
They're
it.
lovely.
So that's basically what I'm doing the next week, and then I can finally
breathe, and then we get a staff holiday.
Yeah.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Do you know,
Trip.
big trip. So we're taking the company away to Kuala Lumpur. We're going to have 3 nights away, just having a bit of fun. You know, it's because of you, Yanti, I started that trip. Do you know why? Because you had worked for me, I want to say for like 6 years, and you had never taken a holiday. You'd go back to Java, but for like 2 days, and then you'd be back at work.
Yeah, mostly, like work from
And
home.
I said to her, like, actually, Heather and I were in Kuala Lumpur one year, and, I was like, I reckon Yanti'd really like it here. Like, Yanti hasn't had a holiday since she started for me. And Heather's like, really? That's wild. I said, actually,
So she'd get us here.
maybe I'll just bring everyone on holiday, so then they have to have a compulsory holiday. And that's where the idea for the staff trip
That was
came.
2019, right?
Yeah, so then I came back to work and I said to everyone, if you hit your KPIs, I'm taking you all to Malaysia for 3 days. And that like was the start of our tradition that at the end of every year we take the staff on a holiday because we work so hard all year. And honestly, if I didn't take Yanti on holiday, I don't think she'd take a day off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we went on the cruise last year, I'm pretty sure none of us took any of our work stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the computers, phones, and everything just got left at home.
I took mine, but
whoosh.
that's because I was paranoid and also like, what if something happens and I'm the only one? Yeah. But yeah, I had my first prop holiday this year as well where I didn't take my laptop. But yeah, that's why we started the staff trip, because Yanti had never taken a holiday.
Yeah. Thanks, Yanti.
Thanks, Yanti. So big month. We're going to have a very big month coming up. We've got the party, we've got the staff trip, and then, we wrap up November, December weddings, and I think we get a couple of weeks, and then we start again in January.
We're going to have the team on soon. The whole team.
I know. So we're going to do, what episode are we on now? I forgot
4.
what day it is. We're on episode 4. Oh, yeah. So we're going to have a meet the team and yearly recap with the entire team on one of the episodes coming up. So we'll get everyone in the studio and
You'll be able to meet the behind the scenes people.
yeah. I think
all the admin staff and
Yeah.
all the runarounds like Robbie and Ryan. A lot of people don't know them.
I know.
So it's exciting.
Our boys,
Yeah.
our muscle.
Our boy. Our children.
I know. So I think it's been a very good month. I think we should probably wrap up today so then we can move on to admin tasks for the day. So thank you, Yanti, for coming on today and for, bringing us back to the last month and what's been going on. For anyone that is watching us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and we are doing a giveaway as well because we are, releasing these episodes over the Christmas New Year break. We do want to get as many people on as possible. Leave us your feedback. Keep in mind we are still new to this, so we'll have exciting episodes coming up. What you can probably expect from the next few episodes, we are going to be interviewing some suppliers, getting them in, talking to you about, everything from flowers to stationery to what actually goes on, furniture hire, where to get awesome pillows from for your couches. Celebrants. Actually, that is going to be one of our upcoming episodes, is the difference between legal weddings and a commitment ceremony, what sort of information you need to know, and just updates on our favourite venues and things as well. So stay tuned. We are going to be doing a giveaway, Britta. Do you want to tell us about that?
We'll be giving away an iPad and some AirPods to help you listen in and watch our podcast, and also to help you, there's a few planning tools and stuff that you can use on those devices as well. So
absolutely. Very exciting. Thank you for joining in today, and we will be back next week for another wedding episode of Bali Weddings Unveiled. Woo! Yay!